What is happening at J Gamer Dude here? And Capcom, in my mind, are absolutely on a tear. They are doing so well. They are doing so much good, whether it be releasing great games, whether it be increasing the salaries of their own employees, whether they are looking at their back catalog of games, re-releasing them, moving forward, whether it be Ace Attorney, those sorts of games, or whether it be sequels to highly looked at or highly appreciated titles, both from a critical and community standpoint, from something like, say, Monster Hunter World to us getting Monster Hunter Wilds next year. It's insane to think about that they are doing so much good and they're getting a lot of feedback from their own audience and being able to build upon it. They do a lot of sort of surveys among their fans and things like that, so it's great to hear that Capcom is actually considering making more Mega Man games into the future. So effectively what's happening is that Mega Man fans have been eagerly awaiting updates from Capcom regarding the future of the franchise, but Capcom has recently revealed its plans that the long-running Mega Man series, which has not been receiving a new mainline entry since 2018, which was Mega Man 11, if I remember correctly. They're actually considering making more Mega Man games, and this was actually during the company's most recent shareholder meeting. Capcom explained that it was brainstorming ways to release more frequent Mega Man titles going forward, and that the Mega Man series has actually sold over 41 million copies to date. Now, couple of interesting things to kind of keep in mind. There have been a decent amount of Mega Man games in the past, whether it be re-releasing Mega Man 1 to 6 as part of like a collection, whether it be the Mega Man X titles also being released as a collection, whether it be the GBA turn-based RPGs, and then of course the most recent new title in the series being Mega Man 11, though we also know what the community doesn't want, and that came in the form of Mighty Number 9. So with all of that being said, I feel like Mega Man could do quite possibly anything that they've previously done, and I think it would certainly be appreciated. Mega Man 11 is kind of the most modern interpretation of what Mega Man is. And surely, we have gotten games from, developers like Init Creates, like Gal Gunvolt, and the Striker Gunvolt or Gunvolt Striker series of games as well, which kind of also feed into that similar itch. But all of that was pretty much coming from that original Mega Man franchise. Do we want a Mega Man game to be more 2D, more 3D? There's so much that could be done there. Do they want to remake some other Mega Man games? Not really remake, but sort of remaster some more older Mega Man games? Because again, Mega Man has had a lot of games in the past. So I am genuinely curious as to what on earth Capcom could be planning in order to not only make newer Mega Man games moving forward, but also how can they make more Mega Man games in a faster time frame, which I think is actually quite interesting to hear, that they're wanting to pump out more Mega Man games similar to how they've been pumping out more Resident Evil games, because since Resident Evil 6, and then we got stuff like Operation Raccoon City and stuff like that was not particularly good at all, and then when they released Resident Evil 7, they started really sort of pumping out the Resident Evil 2 remake, the Resident Evil 3 remake, the Resident Evil 4 remake, we got Resident Evil Village, we're getting Resident Evil 9 next year. This is kind of what I mean by that Capcom is on a tear. They're doing so well that it's almost insane to think about. And no matter what Capcom does, I'm not even going to guess how they're going to revitalize Mega Man, but however they're going to do it, I implicitly trust Capcom are going to do the right thing. Without a doubt. I mean, it would be difficult for them to actually be able to really screw things up, because even if they did screw up one particular game, again, they have so many more games that are of incredibly high quality that are highly appreciated. I mean, like, we're talking about things like Kunitsugami coming out as well. And then in addition, if this all wasn't enough, there's another aspect of Capcom that I really wanted to talk about, and that's the fact that despite Capcom's games being about 90-ish% digital purchases being the vast majority of Capcom's game sales, they have not given up on physical releases, and this has also been mentioned during their recent stakeholder meeting. I freaking love the way Capcom both works, how they're doing things, the message that they're sending to their stakeholders, which almost equally feels like it's sent towards their fans at the exact same time. So during this whole thing, they haven't, so pretty much as long as Capcom is still developing games, they will not give up on physical titles. Though in saying that, there is a minor caveat, and I just mentioned Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess just before, and that's because that is actually a smaller title that is being released as digital only. So I think it's fair to take into account that future Capcom games that are going to be remaining physical may only really be triple A games. I can't remember if Pragmata was being published by them, but it could be fair to say that that's part of it as well. Yeah, so currently, just to kind of put a little bit of a pin on things, here's the pretty much the numbers for physical to digital sales. So 2019, it was 19.4 physical, 80.6 digital. Then in 2020, we got an uptick in physical, being 23.1 physical, 76.9 digital, and then a further uptick again in 2021. So I suppose during the pandemic times, more people bought games physically rather than digitally, which is interesting to see. Maybe it was mostly due to, say, buying physical games from Amazon and things like that. But yeah, now it drops completely to its lowest point at this time, being 2022, 10.6 to digital at 89.4. Now physical at the moment is 9.9% by the end of 2023 and 90.1% digital, leading us to 2024, which is only being forecasted and is not concrete in numbers, but from the way their estimates are going, 6.8 physical to 93.2% digital. So though the company isn't planning to give up on physical releases for the time being, it remains to be seen what its near future retail strategy will actually look like. Its distribution strategy could definitely have some variety, as underlined by the fact that the recently announced Ace Attorney Investigation Chronicles is getting a geographically limited physical release. Consumers in North America will also be able to buy a boxed copy of the game for the Switch, whereas European physical will be limited to the PlayStation version, which is got me scratching my head a little bit about that, as to like the regional physical distribution of the Ace Attorney Investigations collection. But thank goodness I am European, that means I can get the physical copy on PlayStation. But I'm sure people can buy copies overseas, or because there's no region lock, so to speak. But I mean, I'm just here to kind of really gush about how well Capcom is doing in all of this, and I wonder if you guys kind of share the same sentiment, really, because I do personally play a lot more Japanese games than any other developed games from any other company. So with all that being said, kind of just let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. I would be interested to know if anyone really even cares, because again, this is all stuff that I care about. But do you guys? That's really what I'm wanting to put out there. And just comment about anything in the video as well. With all of that being said and done, let me know what you guys think about all of this, again, in the comments below. I guess I already said that. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. I'm aiming for 300 subs by the end of the year. With all that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.